What's happening, guys? How are we doing? Welcome back to the channel. We're here again at Muscleworks today. Going to be running through push session 2, which is slightly more delt dominant. And today I'm going to be running you through the new program that the boss has sent over to me. We're going to be running through the differences between this program and my previous set of plans. We're going to be running through the whys and hows of the structure, the rep ranges, the exercise selection, and so on, because I'm not currently in off season yet. I'm still dieting down for another 6 weeks. But this plan here is essentially the off season plan to build loads of new tissue in order to be competitive for next year's shows. So I'm going to take you for a good session and I'll catch you up with you after. 5 wheels aside, top set. I haven't touched this before. It's only supposed to get 5 to 8. I'll take that. It's nice. Ooh. Today we've got a delt dominant push, or upper pec / delt dominant. Reasoning behind most of this program, but obviously the 2 push days that I've got are to bring the top shelf up massively. So the pec fibers closer towards the clavicle need to be brought up because that's a weakness for me. My front delts aren't too much of a weakness, but this part definitely is. So there's a lot of high incline movements, not much flat pressing. So we really want to emphasize the upper pec. That's why we're starting with I've set the seat quite low down, pushing upwards to really bring it up. And then the other push day has a Smith press. We've got Smith press today, but it will be a high incline Smith press, whereas the other day will be a normal incline. So if you're looking, or I have a lot of questions. People come to me, men, I have quite a fat chest, I have, looks like I've got moobs. I had that in school. Try and emphasize bringing the upper chest up. It takes away from what's down there. Obviously reducing your body fat will help as well, but definitely give that a shot and come away from standard flat benching. One more. Oh. Essentially, as I said a minute ago, we've got a 5-week phase. Week 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. We're going to escalate the volume up each week. So we're going to start at minimum effective volume, taper up close to what should be maximum recoverable volume. So with minimum effective volume in week 1, I had a top set and a back off, and my isolation movements may have had 2 to 3 sets as well. Week 2, you're starting to see more sets on the isolations. So you'll move from 3 sets to 4 sets of, say for example, today, chest flies, calf raises for the side delt and arms. Week 3, which we're in now, you start to see intensity amplifiers such as rest pauses or extended sets included on your back off set of your compounds. So today, just in my top set on here, 5 to 8, I hit 6. Now going to my back off, 10 to 14, rest 20 seconds, do the rest pause set to failure again. Week 4, which will be next week, will be 2 extended sets and a ton more volume on the isolations also. Then week 5 is the D volume, so it's time to get big for next year's shows. "20 seconds and then we go again." Oh, it's burning. One more. Oh. So, seated pec fly there. That's going to target more of the mid-pec fibers, which is fine because we've already exhausted the pec minor in the other movements. Now we're moving on to the medial head of the delt. You've obviously seen in multiple of my other videos, we do loads of cuff raises. Today we've got a slight variation. So we've got seated, which we have done before, where we're on an incline bench, but we've also got a standing cuff raise as well on a cable. So I'll run you through that. That's really to build the width of that side delt. The wider the better for that classic physique shape. If you're feeling your traps too much, my advice would be the day before you do the cuff raises, or even before the session, stretch your traps. Hold on to something down low, pull down and hold on to that. Stretch your traps out, and maybe what I had yesterday, I had some acupuncture on my side delts to get them firing. Acupuncture is great to get the nervous system firing, get the muscle fibers going. I had a bit of dry needling also along with the acupuncture. So maybe, because someone said to me the other day, I feel my traps too much. Also, you might be going too heavy on the cuff raises, elevating your scapula. You don't want to be elevating there whilst you're doing the cuff raise. Depression of the scapula, and then raise up from there. And it should be 80% side delt. You might feel a little bit of trap towards the end of the set, that's fine, but you don't want it from the get-go. Try and drag the cables in a controlled manner, not too explosive. So here we've got the variation of cuff raise in a standing position. You want to set the cables up around hip height. We're trying to really focus on that top range of the medial delt. There's not much tension down here. As we raise up, the tension increases on the cables. That's where the maximum tension is. That's why you set the cables up at the hips on this exercise. Oh. Right, so hope you enjoyed that. That was the run through of push 2, which is on a Thursday. I'm going to run you through the rest of the program because that was the point of this video, but we ended up training, so I'm going to run you through it now. Monday is push 1, which is more pec based with triceps. Tuesday is a density day, which means legs and back together, which is a very, very hard session. Wednesday rest. Thursday is the second push, so that's today, which is more delt dominant with not just triceps, but as you saw, biceps as well. Friday is lower or leg day. Saturday is pull and biceps. Sunday rest. So the reasoning behind the structure of this program. This is what Carl's written out for me. So high priority that I need to focus on in order to win shows next year. We need to bring up my hamstrings, lats, mid-back, arms, clavicular bias with the pecs, calves. Low priority is quads, mid-pecs, delts. I would have said my delts are a bit of a weak area, but this is what Carl's saying. We need to drive on tissue required to the upper extremities to match the lower body musculature. For example, the quads. Continue to build the lats and mid-back traps to complete the top line density from the rear. And obviously, as I mentioned earlier about tapering the volume up, we have to manage fatigue. And that's what the D volume week is for in the week 5. So this is the training plan for us to win gold multiple times next year. Today was obviously, we're in week 3, which is the volume escalation with a single rest pause, which is what I did today. We've got one more week next week, which is week 4, which is the highest volume out of all the weeks. Then the D volume week, we taper off and then we go again. Obviously calories are being reduced at the moment still because I'm in a cutting phase. So we have to be careful with fatigue. When I'm running this program in the off season and I'm on 4,000 or 5,000 calories a day, strength's gonna go through the roof. And that's when the true size will come as well. So we've literally, in this program, in this 7-day split, we're tagging arms 3 times a week, whether that's direct or indirect work. The density day, which is legs and back together, and then we've got a leg day and a back day, so we're pulling twice, we're doing legs twice. We're gonna start prepping May next year because the Arnolds have just released that they will be at the NEC again next year from the 23rd to the 25th September because last week was obviously a success. That's the show that I'm aiming for. I want to turn up to the Arnolds and do as best as I can. So we'll do a show before that, maybe 2 in August, September time, beginning of September, and then we'll finish with a bang at the end of September at the Arnolds. So hope you enjoyed the video and I'll be seeing you again soon. We will probably be traveling around again. So obviously today we're at Muscleworks. Might be heading to Crayford's again. We might try Halo Gym also. So there's a lot to come. So make sure you subscribe and enjoy the rest of your week.